make. So the participants, your certificates will be sent by post, and all the photos will be uploaded in the Google Drive, and the link will be shared to you by email. Before we start the valedictory function, I request everyone to put your phones in the silent mode. Good evening and a warm welcome to one and all present here. We have come to the conclusion of an extraordinary 3-day journey, the Diamond Jubilee Conference on Monitoring, Assessment and Predictive Maintenance of Critical Infrastructure, IMAP 2025. Over the last 3 days, we have witnessed enriching keynote sessions, cutting-edge research presentations and energizing discussions from delegates across the country on critical themes like advanced monitoring and sensing technologies, digital twins, smart materials, and predictive maintenance. The conference brought together a vibrant SHM community, creating a platform for knowledge sharing and collaborative exploration. We sincerely hope each one of you had a meaningful and an enjoyable experience, gaining insights, forging collaborations, and engaging in thought-provoking conversations that will carry forward the spirit of this conference well beyond these halls. Now, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome the esteemed dignitaries on stage. Dr. N. Anandavalli, Director CSIR-SERC and Coordinating Director CMC, Dr. S. Parivallal, Advisor Management, Professor Balaji Ramakrishnan, Director, National Institute of Ocean Technology, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Dr. I.N.G. Saptarishi Sasman, and Dr. Srinivas Oggu, Conference Organizing Secretaries. A warm round of applause as we welcome them to the dais. May I request you all to rise for the invocation song.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக அரசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
May I now request our Director, Madam and Advisor, Sir, to kindly welcome our Chief Guest, Professor Balaji Ramakrishnan, with a floral bouquet and shawl. To begin the valedictory function, I now invite Dr. N. Anandavalli, Director CSIR-SERC and Coordinating Director CMC, to deliver the welcome address.
Professor Balaji Ramakrishnan, Director, National Institute of Ocean Technology, Dr. Parivallal, Dr. Sabdarishi, Dr. Srinivas, my dear participants, friends, Vanakkam and Namaskar. And after 3 days of deliberations, we are in the concluding session of this conference. This is a Diamond Jubilee conference, and I take the opportunity to invite you all for the Diamond Jubilee celebration also, as CSIR-SERC is celebrating on 10th June. And today's function, I welcome you all. It gives me immense pleasure to, and all of you would have had a lot of discussions and way forward. That is where these conferences finally will end. So we need to take away from this conference, and I hope Dr. Sabdarishi and Srinivas are taken down what we have to take forward. And not only that SERC will be taking these activities, so all together we'll build a safe and reliable structures and a sustainable future for all of us. So, this is an important area where, as in the inauguration also I was insisting upon, not only that we have to last to build, but also build to last. So, and we should, periodical maintenance is much more important than just building the structure and leaving it. And this kind of discussions will help us to understand what are all the different problems from the industry as well, so that we can address those issues through our focused research work, and also taking it in the futuristic domain, such as cyber physical systems, or as we have smart cities, what are all the requirements, and how we can go for IoT-enabled things, and how AI can be used as an effective tool to address some of these things. So as in today's morning, there was a lecture. The fundamental thing is understanding the structural behavior, so that appropriately we can use these other things as tools. So without using it as black box, I think we should use it as tools. And the professor has put it down very nicely, like how the structural behavior is important. And as well, the next speaker also, the keynote speaker, was talking about what are all the challenges in building the sustainable infrastructure. And with those few words, I really thank Professor Balaji Ramakrishnan. Amidst his busy schedule, I agreed to be the chief guest of today's function. Thank you for gracing the occasion, sir. And it's a sister, like a nearby institute, neighbor institute, and we are also having some collaborative projects, and so in the days to come, much more collaboration we can take forward wherever we can be of common interest is there. So with that, and once again welcome you all, and then conclude with the Thirukural, Arumai Vidaithendra Asvamai Vendum Perumai Muyarchi Tharum, which means that yield not to the feeble mind that says that whenever you take a new challenge, the feeble mind might say that this is new to you, so be careful, so don't venture into these things. Don't listen to that feeble mind, but rather than see the accomplishment which will you get after completing the task. So that itself will give all the energy to complete the task. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening the participants with the key takeaways from this conference. To present the summary of the conference, may I invite Dr. I.N.G. Saptarishi Sasmal to take the stage.
Respected Professor Balaji Ramakrishnan, respected Director Anandabudi Madam, Advisor Management Dr. Paribhallal, this organizer Dr. B. Srinivas, Dr. Satish Kumar sir, all my dear heads and scientists, delegates, sponsors, praise everybody, a very good evening to all of you. I think that all 3 days it was a very interactive and very informative things that has gone through here. It is all possible because of you all together, and it was giving such an overwhelming experience to us as well. So I would first want to thank our director madam. Then when we were discussing to commemorate the Diamond Jubilee year, that conference, so what should be the theme of the conference, and madam has told that this is the apt area where we should really do and bring the people together. Actually what happened, this area is very concentrated and very focused. So the thing has been made in that way, and we have also discussed that how the conference should be going through here. And in that process it was decided that let it be little different from any other conferences that is happening. For example, that we thought that let's not have more than 2 parallel sessions, because it gives the delegates really a puzzle. So the which session has to be attended by whom. So that we thought only the 2 sessions, and having a 3 days, so that we should having a number of papers are fixed. So more than that paper we will be not able to accommodate. So this decision has given us a chance to ensure the quality of the papers, and I am happy to share with that we have received the overwhelming experience and the responses that we have got from the researchers, professors, and also scientists, also the industries, all have tried to give it this one contribution. So here if I try to see that why the name has been given as a monitoring, assessment and the predictive maintenance. If you see, there is having something, the grade of the weightage has been put, because the monitoring, it is being done by maximum of people. They go and have some sensing, right? And they give the response. But from the monitoring to the assessment, it needs a one level higher, the level of understanding that you need to assess. Maybe not now the one level higher, it will be a one order higher is required. How you can do having a predictive modeling. If I knew that last year was this, in the 6 months this, in this day this, so what could be a predictive response for this? So it needs a one order higher of the understanding. So that we wanted to put in one gamut, entire thing this one together, where I can do the monitoring, assessment, and also I can predict how the structure will behave. So that was basically the thought process that has gone through. And then what we have made it, the entire this conference themes has been made into several sub-themes. So here that we have done for the advanced monitoring technologies, smart material and sensing technologies, and the maximum of the paper have come in these 2 sub-themes, so that it shows that how much aggressive research is happening in these 2 areas. Then that we are having a sub-theme on the active and the passive sensing and the sensor optimization, remote monitoring and the inspection technologies, Data analytics and the artificial intelligence also is an area that we also got, like as usual, got a lot of papers. So the integration of the IoT and the sensor network, so cyber physical system for the critical infrastructure and the digital twin, sustainability and the environmental impact through the monitoring and assessment, the predictive maintenance strategies, then the strategies for the capacity augmentation and the life enhancement, asset management and the life cycle assessment, risk and reliability assessment, and there is one more theme that we have added is called the regulatory framework, and which all we know that is very important. All engineers, at least the civil engineers, know that you have got different codes and we first follow the codes if it is a very usual problem. But the thing is that unfortunately in India there is no code for the structural so health monitoring, so that we thought that let us having a session or having a theme that will be talking about the regulatory framework, what is there and where we should go forward. So if I have to see that all the themes together, so I want to give you a little bit of the statistics. Actually that we have got, as I mentioned, so a large number of papers. Finally that we have accommodated 72 papers, so that has just fit that all 3 days and all these sessions. And the delegates have come from the different spectrum. So even so that if I want to give you a details, that if I have the almost like a 140 to 150 delegates were there, out of that we are having the speakers were almost like a half, and they're having delegates came almost like a 40 people, and also that we have some sponsors and the students. Now if I see the different organization, they have come here, like the IGCA, DRDO, RDSO, RVNL, NTPC, dam safety, highways, then the high-speed railways, and so on and so forth for the industry. And from the Indian Railway itself, from the 7 zones, the engineers have come. So this is a very good thing to show that the policymakers are also becoming very much sensitive. And from the different institutes also, they have come here, like the IIT Guwahati, IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, then the different, several NITs, and our own CSIR, and also various colleges across India. So this is the total spectrum of the delegates that were here, and that we have told that we have made into the different sessions. Basically that in the morning session that we had got a keynote, and followed by there having a session, it was split into 2, and it has been seen that all the sessions have gone very well, except 2 or 3 papers, all the presenters that were there. I think that is a very good one statistic that I wanted to share, that only that, so 2 or 3 only speakers, they could not come from the various reasons, other than all were present. Now here that I would say that here that we have, so total 8 invited and the keynote speakers that were there, and who are the experts in the field of the structural health monitoring. And we have get a very specific flow of the things, so that the audience can get the advantage that from the experience and the expertise they have. So we had the keynote speakers were Professor Santosh Kapuria from Applied Mechanics Department at IIT Delhi, also the former director of CSIR-SERC, and Professor Arunachalam Rajendran, so he was the chair of the mechanical engineering at the University of Mississippi. Then on the second day that we had the keynote speaker, Dr. N. Gopalakrishnan, who was the former director of CSIR-CBRI and also the former chief scientist of CSIR-SERC. We had the Dr. Jan Cervenka from Czech Republic, and he was talking about the digital twin and how we can make an integrated cyber physical system. And also that we are having a Dr. Tarapada Pine, who is the Director General of a center having an NGO that is called Vibration Specialist. On the day 3, that is today, that we had got the keynote speaker was Professor Pradipta Banerjee from IIT Bombay, and Professor Shiman Kumar Bhattacharjee, who is the Vice Chancellor of Shivnadar University, and followed by the one more lecture by Dr. Balasubramaniam, who is from the NTTT, our neighbor institute. So here if you see the topic of the talks they have shared as a keynote, or the invited speakers all are emphasizing the progress of the SHM, the challenges of SHM, how the India is getting actually maneuvering from the NDT, schedule-driven NDT to the condition-based SHM system. Also, so they were having a huge emphasis of developing up a smart material, intelligent structures, and having a robust signal processing tools. So this given us the reaffirmation of the thing that all the keynote and the invited speaker says that it is a subject not for the structural engineers alone. It is a subject of a many discipline and which really reflect a typical interdisciplinary subject. So this followed by there are having that lectures that, as I have already said, that almost like 70 papers were there, and it was presented, and every session was chaired by the chairman. Now here that I would also say that this particular conference has been sponsored by 10 sponsors. Actually, they are having few more. They came little late, so that we said that we cannot accommodate you further. So the sponsors was IRIS, ANSYS, Infinipoint, HBK, Mantis, Stanley, Cervenka, Fosrock, L2M, VIT Engineering, and Gantner. So basically, if you see that almost everybody is linked to either sensing or the data processing, or in terms of a structural health monitoring, right? So this is about the conference. And also, as our director madam said, that we have already pointed out the emphasis that is being given by the many researchers and also the industry participants, that what they really need it and what the problems they are actually perceiving that will be coming through, so that we can formulate the proposals, or we can come together to make a system or make a striving an effort so that we can solve the industry driven or the industry pose some problem, so that that will make the things further. Also, it is a point to make you to be aware that, so in the direction of the structural health monitoring code, there is having the initiation from the Indian our standards. So this initiation has started. I think the CSIR-SERC that will play a very important role for that. So here the most of the sessions, I think that has gone on time. Only as usual in the morning session that was little late starting, so in some time that your tea was little late, so that as the host institute and specifically as the organizer, that we are very sorry for that. And I think that was a very good experience to all of you. As a conclusion, that so I would want to say that basically what we wrote, if you go through your brochure, I think that almost all you have. I think that the brochure says that delving into the innovative methodology and the cutting edge technologies, the IMAP is aimed to explore the different technologies for the monitoring, assessment, maintenance, safety auditing, and also the capacity augmentation. I think that has truly fulfilled what was the aim and what was the motivating point for organizing this particular conference. So with these few details, so I am just ending here. Just before that, I want to really thank from the bottom of my heart is our DG CSIR and our director and entire management, and also the sponsors and the delegate. So basically in such a effort and such a big event on a topic which is very specific, so it has got such a traction, it is only possible because of a altogether that effort that has happened. So thank you very much. I think that will be giving you the some experience that will be really that will be useful for our future also, the collaboration and some sort of association as well. So, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for such an insightful and comprehensive wrap-up. It is now my pleasure to request Dr. S. Parivallal, Advisor Management, to introduce our chief guest, Professor Balaji Ramakrishnan.
So, good evening to everyone. It is our honor to welcome Professor Balaji Ramakrishnan, the Director of National Institute of Ocean Technology, NIOT, Chennai, as the Chief Guest of CSIR-SERC Diamond Jubilee Conference on monitoring, assessment and predictive maintenance of critical infrastructure. Professor Ramakrishnan assumed the directorship of NIOT on September 2024. He is a professor in the Department of Civil Engineering at IIT Bombay, where he has served since 2011. Prior to this, he held the position of Senior Coastal Port Engineer with... No, 1 minute.
They can find this in the internet.
Okay.
You
No,
go, you Google NIOT director, you will find all these details actually. Yeah, come. Thank you so much. They're already at the end of this entire program. They're tired, exhausted. We should see them off very soon. So let me start with the thing. So, but thank you, Pari sir, for your effort. Dr. Anandavalli, Director, SCRC, CSIR, and all the SCRC colleagues on the dais, off the dais, my dear participants. Of course, there are a lot of industry participants, I understand, academic and research institutions, delegates, speakers. It's a fantastic evening to be amongst you today. I'm really happy to see that CRC has come up with such a wonderful event, conference, gathering all those who are interested in the, I would say probably in nutshell, asset management. I think infrastructural asset management or something like that, which probably will, I think, encompass all these monitoring, assessment and so on. Madam, while speaking, she, I think, mistakenly said that, we are sister institution to SCRC. How can a 30-year-old institution can be a sister of 60-year-old? They are celebrating golden, huh? It's still possible? So I always, see SCRC like a motherly institute. So we would be like a, children or maybe daughter of SCRC. So. I come from NIOT, National Institute of Ocean Technology. We are part of Ministry of Earth Sciences, like it was mentioned in the beginning. We also kind of work in the marine infrastructure. So we also develop technologies related to ocean and marine engineering perspective. There are a lot of synergy. There are a lot of overlapping interests amongst us and our mother institute, I would say, like my maybe elder sister. I don't know how to call this 60-year-old. All right, so. But we work a lot. I think it's really wonderful to see that they are celebrating Golden Jubilee, successful. I think 6 decades of time is not a joke, being an institute, being an establishment of this kind, and they also promote a lot amount of research. People usually believe that, civil engineering has already saturated. I'm also a civil engineer, very interestingly. People believe long ago that, it's all done. You all guys, simply use bricks, cement, some gravel, what else? Some real reinforcement, what else you have? But that's not the case. I think those who are working, you can always proudly say yourself that, we are civil engineers still, We also call ourselves as a Royal Civil Engineer, so right from our college days. Nobody claims, so we claim ourselves. Well, but that's not the case. I think the kind of requirement the world faces and the kind of challenges that we have in maintaining the assets that we have already created on the land, right? So, or even the water that I work actually personally. After my civil engineering graduation, I went on to do master's and PhD in ocean engineering. So I would call myself more as ocean engineer than a civil engineer. So civil is gone out of my resume long ago. But nonetheless, we also look after the marine infrastructure. So I interestingly had an opportunity multiple opportunities, of course, to work with port industry. So in one of the projects when we wanted to actually to do repair and rehabilitation, I would say probably it's not just rehabilitation, but their demand is increasing, but the infrastructure is 40 years old, 40, 50 years old, so 4 or 5 decades of time we are talking about. So the marine industry, it is not as simple as to take a decision to see whether we can simply demolish this and build a new one. The costs involved in marine infrastructure is so huge that it will make you to think twice or thrice or maybe multiple number of times before to decide anything to be demolished. And it's not that easy, space occupancy, you need to have the waterfront, and even if you demolish, you may not be able to pull out these piles, right? These are all pile-driven structures, for example. So you cannot pull out the piles, you cannot even construct anything in that place, the place where the piles have been driven by hundreds of them. So it is better, it is always wise to see whether you can extend the life of these structures as much as possible. One side, these, ages of this infrastructure is getting old, and your demand of handling capacity of the port, each port is actually defined by its demand, handling capacity. So much of tonnage of cargo, general cargo, or it could be, container cargo and so on and so forth. So oil cargo, it could be something like that. So one side, you are pushing your boundaries of the demand of operating capacities, and the other side, the age of the structure is getting old and old. Remember, the codes, the Indian standards and international standards have also actually changed a lot during this period of 5 decades of time. So for example, the marine infrastructure, we call them as berthing structure, where the ship will come and dock. The structure was built like 4 or 5 decades ago, and the standards was actually totally different. I'll put a very simple point. Even the crack width that we use to design all of this has changed a lot. And if I have to pass with the current, current standards and requirement, I actually have to demolish all of them. Then what is the source? What is the solution for all of this? And what I'm talking about is usually starts with the minimum of $1 billion Indian rupees, these infrastructures. Minimum, bare minimum that you can think in marine environment, most of you would be probably working. Bare minimum is we are talking about 200, 300, 400 crores of investment. Bare minimum. And then if you are really thinking of multiple berths, then it will be like thousands of crores. So it's high time that you need to have an informed decision, right? You cannot simply take a call that chief engineer decides that okay, let's go ahead, do a repair and rehabilitation. So you need to understand the existing conditional assessment of this entire infrastructure. There comes the challenges. If you do not have any proper monitoring right from the beginning of the structure, inception stage, and you go all of a sudden try to understand the age of the structure after 50 years of its existence, you actually can't do that. This was one of the challenges we faced very interestingly, and we wanted to know what is the residual life left out in these structures, first of all, even before I decide what am I supposed to go into do to the repair and rehabilitation. So we found it extremely difficult, and we went back to the port authority and say that, see, do you have any data of the conditional assessment, any previous period in your the 5 decades of times? Chief engineer says that, sir, I think the previous engineer might have done something like that. Then we go back and again, there actually nothing exists as such. So you must be familiar, the learned audience here, you would be familiar with, any infrastructure can be easily, the life left out, you have the x-axis, the life spent, and then the y-axis, what is the residual life left out and so on. So when we wanted to know, at least one point should be before what I am trying to do now, right? At least one in between zero where the construction began and the time that 50 years later, I need to have at least one point to connect. There was nothing existing. Then we obviously have to understand some more, so we conducted series of non-destructive, semi-destructive, and some are destructive. What to do? I have no other option. Done that to get the feeling of what the structure could have actually been undergone all the age-related challenges and so on and so forth. I'm not just addressing only the compressive strength of the concrete or just only the reinforcement, but a lot of that. It's a precarious situation in one of the berthing structures that we found that the deck was completely punctured by the crane fall or some kind of a heavy weight impact fall, and then they filled it with some random reinforced concrete. And they used to tell me that, sir, don't walk on top of that. Just be careful, it may even sink anytime. But it looks very nicely finished. And when you go beneath the deck and we inspected, there is no connectivity between the old concrete and the one that they have actually done. So precarious that they're operating this. I don't want to name the port, of course, in case if you happen to visit the website, probably you would have guessed what it is. Well, the reason why I'm trying to highlight is that then we, of course, conducted a lot of tests and we have done a lot of analytical work, mathematical work, and then we gave some kind of a solutions for the repair and rehabilitation. Then the port has also actually asked us to go on to do it by ourselves, and we were the kind of the project management consultant for those ports. And then we did a lot of repair and rehabilitation. But now the berthing structure is put in use with the increased capacity. And then we managed to do some kind of a repair work, jacketing of the existing piles, jacketing of the pile heads, mouths, and so on, that we were able to manage to accommodate the increased loading requirement of the port now. So now I think the 75,000 DWT, we call this actually DWT in terms of dead weight tonnage of the vessels. Now, instead of 50,000, now we are able to bring 75,000 DWT of vessels, come and dock, unload and load the vessel, the cargoes and so on and so forth. This is one side of our port infrastructure experiences, and the other side we were also trying to address another interesting requirement of the offshore structures. The structures that we are talking about here, again, are the order of multiple billions. If I'm talking about port structure as actually few billions, then these are like multiple tens of billions I'm talking about investment required. These structures, many of them have actually outlived their design life, but then they cannot be scrapped just like that. Number one, the oil resources are still there. You are yet to explore its fullest capacity of the underwater reservoirs, actually oil reservoirs, crude oil reservoirs. Number two, the investment is also going to be huge capex. So they also require some kind of informed decision on to how to proceed, whether the recertification of these structures can be probably issued so that the life can be extended for further practical use and so on. So again, there is absolutely no data. We are talking about tubular structures being welded together. I hope you are all familiar with the offshore jacket platforms and so on. So these structures continuously undergo a dynamic loading. So fatigue is something very serious, and these were never really been monitored. And when we told them that you are supposed to monitor both the environmental parameter that govern the fatigue as well as the stresses that the structures are actually undergoing, they were really wondering whether we are supposed to do this. I'm talking about like multiple billions of infrastructure. So we tried to help them there again, and we instructed them that you follow some kind of a strategic practice of your own, where you continuously monitor. It doesn't really require really much of effort. I'll tell you, the new marine structures and marine the infrastructures in even offshore environment, we really request them, we really beg them that you invest small amount of effort and money, that you have some kind of continuous monitoring, even if it is brand new. You start from the day one. I think the again learned audience would be again aware of the fact that the corrosion-related age deterioration that we are talking about, it actually requires when the corrosion is actually initiated, immediately after the construction. So the construction period and then the corrosion initiation time would be of the order of 10 years or 15 years, depending upon the quality of construction or cover and all that it is actually going to be influencing. But unless you know that, you are not able to actually extrapolate actually what is the level of corrosion that probably affects the age of the life of the structure and so on. So that was not there in many of the infrastructures. And if you don't have that, I think it is really important, really difficult actually for you to make a judgment of how much life is still left out. I think all the discussion that whatever I mentioned here on the podium right now is also holds true for if you are working on the bridge engineering or railway engineering or any other major infrastructure that involves huge amount of capex. So please spend good amount of effort and investment in monitoring, and also continuously assess, and it is going to definitely be very less cost involved, so that you can probably extend the life it is really required at the right stage or age of the structure and so on. I hope the conference has given an interesting insight to the subject domain, and thank you so much for calling me here.
Thank you, sir, for giving us a brief on your experiences on SHM on offshore structures, and also sharing the relationship between both the institutes. I also hope that in future we'll try to collaborate much more. May I now request our director to present a memento as a token of appreciation to our chief guest. We also take this opportunity to acknowledge the unwavering support of our industrial partners. May I request our Director Madam and Chief Guest to present the token of gratitude to our industrial partners. I also request delegates from the following industries to come and collect the memento on behalf of your organization. Platinum sponsor, Iris. Our diamond sponsor, Ansys InfiniPoint. Our gold sponsor, Stanley. Our silver sponsor, HBK. Silver sponsor, Cervenka Consulting. Another silver sponsor, Ganter Instruments. Our bronze sponsor, Mantis Infra Solutions Private Limited. Bronze sponsor, VIT Engineering Private Limited. Bronze sponsor, Force Rock Chemicals Private Limited. Another bronze sponsor, L2M Rail. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Now, to formally bring this event to a close, I invite Dr. Srinivas Oggu, Chief Scientist, CSIR-SERC, and Organizing Secretary of IMAP 2025, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening to one and all. So, actually, it will be a great pleasure for all of us to have you all in during these 3 days, and hopefully, I think we'll be missing you all, but hopefully, we'll be connecting together as always, and then we'll be interacting with each other, so that this movement will go forward. And first of all, I would just like to thank you. Actually, this is a formal vote of thanks, but I don't want to just end by thanking you all. But as it demands, I just give a formal vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank our chief guest, the Director of National Institute of Ocean Technology, Dr. Balaji Ramakrishnan sir, for kindly accepting our invitation for attending this valedictory function and giving the valedictory address, and giving the insights of how the marine structures are so important as a main infrastructure facility, how it has to be managed as asset management, and how we can incorporate the monitoring and maintenance systems into that. So thank you very much, sir, for your presence here and gracing this occasion. And I myself, on behalf of my colleague Dr. Saptarshi, thank you, our director, actually, first of all, to giving the opportunity to conduct this conference, and choosing this theme of this conference as an opt theme on the monitoring, assessment, and predictive maintenance. So as you understand, for the last 3 days, from the various delegates, industry experts, students, researchers, so there are a lot of interactions are being taken place, and I see the excitement in all of you people, and interacting with each other, and interacting with the conference chairmen, delegates, and with us, and there is a lot of interactions are being taken place, and it shows that the conference theme has been opted at the present scenario, and so this Josh has to be taken forward, and then a lot of research has to be taken place, and then I feel the industry and the academicians and the research has to come together, so to address the challenges that need to be taken place, so to give the solutions to the stakeholders, and then the policy makers, that what they are wanting, and then giving the right things at the right place, so that all the assets will be maintained, and then safely be in place, so that all of us can use those infrastructure facilities for our all daily things. So, as with every journey has to come to a destination, we have now come to this conclusion of this remarkable event. Although the curtains are closing on this conference, but it marks an end, but the beginning of new interactions, so new collaborations and new joint things has to take place, and we hope a lot of things are going to take place in future, and we expect the new industries and then the researchers, academicians will talk to each other and then bring the most collaborative efforts onto this. So, firstly, I extend my sincere thanks to all the delegates, students and researchers and the industry partners who have participated and contributed to making this conference a grand success. Of course, your presence and active involvement has added great value to these sessions and then the interactions and discussions taking place. And also, a special note for thanks to all the organizations that nominated their officials to attend and engage in this 3 days conference, and your support has been crucial in achieving our goal. And on behalf of our director and organizing committee, I extend my sincere thanks to, and also wish you all to extend our sincere thanks to your management of your organizations and institutions. Secondly, on behalf of our director and the entire organization committee, so I express our deep appreciation to our generous sponsors who have immediately agreed whenever we approached them, and then immediately told that this is a great event and we will be in part of this event, and then we will be like to attend and participate in this event and sponsor this event as one of the industry partners. So thanks to all those industry partners who are coming together and then sponsoring this event. And then actually, if we see the industries also, we have not taken a lot of industries together into this conference, as we want the opt industries who are bringing the solutions to the SHM community, so that they will be coming together and then giving their expertise and the technological advances that is being taken place, so that the delegates will be benefited from this. Thanks to all the sponsors for your generous support to make this event a grand success. And I also sincerely thank our administrative staff particularly, and our administrative officer and his entire team. Actually, they are behind, and then because whatever you are seeing at front and all the beautiful arrangement that is being taken place here, there are a lot of efforts has been taken place for the last 3 or 4 months, because the entire administrative team has taken their efforts so that the entire things of the administrative things has taken up smoothly, particularly the administrative officer and our finance and accounts officer, and in particular the stores and purchase officer and their entire team. So there are a lot of efforts, because as a government organization, you understand, so there are a lot of procedures and it has to be undertaken before each of the things has to take place in their own place, right? So a big thanks to all our staff, and also actually whatever you are seeing on the beautiful stage and then beautiful arrangements in this conference hall. So there are a lot of efforts has been taken place by our ICT team. So our team, and they have done the beautiful arrangements of this audio-visual arrangements and this hall arrangements, everything. So big thanks to them also. And also we would like to thank our work section. So the entire team of the work section, horticultural section, for making this auditorium and dining hall arrangements, and also our ICT team, particularly the Srinivas and RDS for the publication, publicity of the conference, and making the live streaming arrangements as well. So you can see that live streaming of the inaugural event as well as this valedictory event, live streaming is being done. So even you can see later at our organization also that the inaugural letter also you can view and then the experience that. And the thanks to also the to Natarajan, Nagaswamy, Ravi Kumar. Actually, whatever the food arrangements, I think, I hope you all enjoyed your food. I think there is no lack of things has been taken place because we as organizations, we could not able to check everything. So I think our team of the food and accommodation arrangements has taken care of fully, and then you might have all enjoyed the hospitality that has been taken place. And a heartfelt thanks to all of them, particularly I think the Ravi Kumar, Rajalakshmi and Vinod and Nagaswamy. And they are the entire team behind. They are working actually day and night for last few weeks. So a big thanks to all of them. And actually, so we too, actually you are seeing, we too are in front and then you are interacting with them, but there are the team actually who are silently working effortlessly for the last 1.5 months. You are not seeing them in front at all. So they are working very tirelessly for the whole night, day and nights. So particularly I wish to thank them by name. So my team is our strength actually. So a big thanks to Dr. Arun Sundaram. I think if I can request you to stand. So Dr. Arun Sundaram, Dr. Kannusamy. So actually, whatever arrangements you are seeing here, beautiful arrangements inside and outside the auditorium, actually we are not there actually. So we actually told what has to be done, and they have conceived and then executed everything well, and then so that is a result of this beautiful arrangement that has been taken place. So big thanks to them. Arun Sundaram, Kannusamy. Actually, you are seeing Dr. Sindhu every day, and Dr. Ram Setti, Dr. Subbalakshmi, Sharat Kumar, Saran Kumar. Who else I am missing? So Aravindan, Deepak Kumar, Tirumali Selvi. Yes. So they are actually silent workers. So you are not seeing them anytime in front actually. So whatever we tell, they execute very silently, and then we are very thankful to them, and they are our actually big strength. Whatever works, even not only this event, actually whatever works, you are seeing the, actually whatever I presented, actually all the efforts goes to the entire team. Actually we are nothing actually. So we just tell them what to do, and they execute and then gives the best results to us. So thank you one and all. I hope, I think we have achieved our goal, as Dr. Saptarshi told. So to making the beginning of bringing together the experts and then all the people. So I'm not thanking only them actually, we have got the other technical staff as well actually. So I think 2 of them coming there, and some of them sitting in front of our audiovisual arrangements. So they are all actually the very big team actually. They work very silently, and so actually they never utters any word. So if we say, then they execute and then show the results, the best results. So I can say that. So a big thanks to Devaraj, Karnamurthy, Subhash, and Yelamaran, Komarappan. So you never see them actually in anywhere. So they work very silently. So thank you one and all. And if I miss anything, so it is just by my mistake only, so inadvertently. So once and all, yeah, press and publicity actually is taking care. So our RDS, RD Satish Kumar. So everything, every day I think we are being seen in the news. So thanks RDS. Actually, if I miss anything, so sorry for that, and then I take the full responsibility for that. And on behalf of the organizing secretaries, any missing things are happens or any bad things happens, we take full responsibility, and I take the liberty of Dr. Saptarshi also. So whatever mistakes has been taken place, that is the full responsibility of us. And what are the good things, everything happens, that is the entire team efforts. A big thanks to all, and thank you one and all, and we hope we will meet again, so in this platform or some other platform. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure that the knowledge gained and the shared passion of every delegate and expert of IMAP 2025 will now be carried forward towards ensuring the safety, reliability, and sustainability of our nation's critical infrastructure. With this, we come to the end of this valedictory function. May I request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
On behalf of the organizing committee, I once again thank you all for being a part of IMAP 2025. Wishing you all a safe and a happy journey.